I have been working in the community as a nurse for 4 years. It's really hard to really demonstrate what we do in the community because it is so varied and vast. It's tough, it is tough because there are some visits where you can't leave them when you need to leave them because something else is happening. And then there are other visits where they just don't really want you to leave and you just have to be a little bit, not brutal, that's the wrong word, just honest with them that actually you are a bit pushed and stretched as a service and there are other people that also need you. Morris is a diabetic patient. We see him twice a day. We check his blood sugar and we give him his insulin. We've been doing your insulin for just over a year.
Yeah.
Before that you were managing it yourself, weren't you? Yeah.
If the nurses weren't coming, then I would end up by going into a diabetic coma, which in the end can kill you.
I think I let patients have enough of me for me to feel comfortable. I don't mind them knowing some stuff about my life because they're sharing their life with me. Sharp scratch.
There you go.
So our second visit today is another diabetic, about 5 minutes drive away. On a day like today, I've had a list of patients of my own to see, but I've also, all my team that are working will call me throughout the day for advice on what to do for certain patients as and when they encounter any problems. Hello, Chris, it's Katherine. Hello. Have you had your breakfast? Yes. Yeah. Even when we're fully staffed, we don't have enough staff for the number of patients. There's no safe staffing limits in the community. Oh, can I have another drop, Chris? That's a bit high. That's 22. We can't shut our doors. A patient is housebound, they need a visit, we have to make that happen. But there aren't enough of us, and that is getting worse. People are leaving and we're not necessarily filling their post. Okay. So there's a lot of us that are working past our hours and doing overtime on our days off just because the patients need seeing. As much as it was lovely getting all the claps through COVID, I think we all said to each other at the time it's not going to last. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a little read on your notes.
Yeah.
I see.
A couple of bits going on.
Yeah. Not such
much.
good news. End of
Not
last
good
week.
news,
No. It's quite hard going from huge applause and recognition to why can't you offer a better service? The reality is there is a lot of overtime, and because you can bring your computer home, inevitably you spend your evenings writing up all the visits because it needs doing. And I can't start work tomorrow with it hanging over me. And the policy is we document a visit within 24 hours. So I have to do it tonight. So next week you might be able to get out and about a little bit more.
Yeah, hopefully.
We're striking for fair pay because our pay is not reflective of any kind of inflation or what we do. And safer staffing levels, which for me is more of a priority. I think it's the only way of really getting the point across.
Alright, I think that's about it for now then, guys. Unless there's anything else anyone's got to say, I will see everybody later, but I am on the end of the phone if you need me.
Thanks. There are people that can't afford to feed their family on a nurse's income, and a one-off payment is going to solve that temporarily, but very short term. Yeah, I can have a look at your ankle. Of course I can. I don't think that the bigger picture is really being considered. We haven't got enough nurses, and I think that the way that nurses are trained needs to be re-looked at to make it more accessible, to bring nurses back in to the workforce. There isn't an alternative to that really. The numbers don't tally. There aren't enough nurses. I feel really proud of the NHS. If I didn't, I wouldn't still be working for it. I really wouldn't, because it's quite a thankless task. You give your all to it, and the NHS as a whole just keep taking, and you'd keep giving and they just keep taking. But I don't want to be anywhere else.